What is up, design family, and welcome to another video. On this episode, we'll be looking at the 5 things that I cannot live without as a sportswear designer. I will be taking you through each thing and explaining how it improves our workflow here at Fit Design and how it can improve yours. I hope you guys are ready. This is going to be a really informative video, a quick one as well, so let's get right into it. Welcome to Fit Design TV. On this channel, we'll explore what it takes to make it as an activewear fashion brand, whilst providing tips, tricks, and actionable steps towards starting your own product line. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking to start your own brand, or just someone interested in fitness fashion, there's something for you here. Number 1 is a measuring tape. I have this on my person at all times. Very important. Sportswear is all about fit, making sure that everything fits correctly. It can complement the physique. Nothing is too tight and nothing is too loose is key. And the fastest way towards visualizing a certain fit or a length is by having an awesome regular measuring tape. This is made out of fiberglass. It's really durable, really cheap, made in China, and it has both inches and centimeters on both sides. Most tailoring measurements are actually in inches, so having a measuring tape that's in inches is key. If you're going to be doing any custom sizing, you're going to want to have a measuring tape. So highly recommend this. It's going to get you a lot more accurate in terms of figuring out those specific measurements, such as collar width, cuff width, overall length. So this is going to be a lifesaver. Number 2 is a bit controversial, but I am a huge proponent of digital art. A iPad Pro or a regular iPad and a pencil is going to drastically improve your workflow. Nowadays, everything is digital. We communicate digitally, we collaborate digitally, and we display our work digitally. So being able to take our digital or our design skills into the digital age is key. And I ultimately think that a digital tablet like an iPad Pro or like a Wacom makes you a better designer. It's going to help you get better, and it's going to allow you to display much better work. Why do I believe that? For the sole reason that you can just go through a ton of trial and error phases by drawing and undoing and drawing and undoing, and it just allows you to try out new techniques to get your strokes better, to get your composition better, and to do so as many times as you need to improve that. With a traditional pen and paper, you always have the friction of having to go back and erase the lines and then go back and redraw them. And that friction kind of causes you to hesitate. It causes you not to take as many risks. And at the same time, it just makes it a lot tougher to have that necessary trial and error that it takes to get better and better. And obviously with digital art, you're able to manipulate the lines a lot more accurately, and you're able to make those fine-tune adjustments. I've been in a position where I've had a finished piece of work that on a pen and paper, I would assume is perfect, but with the magic of fine-tuning through digital media, you're able to just kind of tweak it so that it is absolutely perfect. And when you're drawing mock-ups and designs and sketches of sportswear, having that ability to go back and forth is key. I also love the ability to kind of lay down mock-ups or existing mock-ups and trace over them digitally, so that way I'm able to kind of create a modular structure towards all my designs. What does that mean? For instance, if I have a woman's product, I'm able to have one base and to base all of my designs off that same base just by having that base over and over and copy pasting it into my different artboards. So that way I'm able to maintain a kind of homogeneous structure across all my drawings. It just makes things look more professional, and it just streamlines the entire process. So yes, huge proponent of digital art, especially in the sportswear space. An iPad Pro and a pencil is what I use, and I highly recommend it. Number 3, and if you've watched this channel before, you know I'm gonna say it's Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I'm a very visual guy as a designer, and my team, we like to be able to kind of visualize what something is gonna look like. Pinterest is a curated image platform where you can find a ton of great detail shots. A lot of those small details that you may not be aware of or may not know how they fit or really how they work. Pinterest does a great job of showing those details in high quality, in a curated way, and just being able to lay out mood boards and boards for different products that you're working on allows you to visualize your product holistically and to be able to collaborate with other people, to share your opinions, share your thoughts, at the same time to have an endless database which you can search from of high quality images of trendy things that are related to what you're doing. There's a ton of great sportswear images on there, and obviously we as Fit Design always contribute. So it is an awesome platform to get quality content and to get great inspiration. Number 4, you want to be able to work with colors. Digitally, it can be tough, right? What is the screen you're working on? Is it calibrated correctly? How can I ensure that what is on my screen is what's going to come out in real life? You know, those issues exist and they're quite strong pain points even for us. So that's why we recommend using an app like Pantone Studio. It's a $5 a month app. You can get the free version that has basic functionality, and by having that in your pocket, you can do one of two things. One, you have that online library. On an iPhone or even some modern Androids, the color representation is great, so you're able to kind of get a very accurate look for your colors straight out of your phone, and you're able to use those codes like the TCX codes or the TPU codes or whatever booklet you're using, specify that in your design so that when you go and create this custom dye on a piece of fabric or textile, it's 95 to 99% accurate, and that's a great starting point. So I highly recommend the Pantone Studio app. Cannot recommend it enough. It is a essential tool in any sportswear designer's arsenal. Last but not least, I would recommend having a fabric swatch book on hand. When working with sportswear, fashion in general, it's all about textiles, fabrics. Fabrics can have a huge impact on the way that a design translates from digital to a physical product. So being able to visualize how this fabric is going to look, how it's going to feel while you're designing is key. And I would definitely recommend having an idea at least of what fabric you want to work with on a specific piece when you're designing it. So having a kind of fabric booklet like this is essential with all of the main types of fabrics that you would use across many different products. We've done a video on our top recommendations for each fabric, for each product type. And just being able to touch and feel those fabrics, even on a small swatch basis, is going to allow you to make a lot of good and informed decisions on how your sportswear is going to look and how it's going to feel. And that's ultimately going to make you a much better designer when kind of considering these details beforehand. That's a wrap. I hope you guys have taken a couple of interesting things away, stuff that you can incorporate into your own workflow. This is not the be all end all. This is just stuff that I personally find really useful from doing sportswear and activewear design day in, day out by myself with my team. This is what we use in the office. It really does help our workflow, and hopefully it will help yours as well. If you have any recommendations for stuff I haven't mentioned, maybe stuff that I don't personally know about, I would love to hear them from you. Please drop them in the comments below. It's always a pleasure to hear from everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. Till next time, guys, stay awesome and see you in the next video.